Well, hello, Montgomery Wine Fest volunteers. I'm Shannon Reed. I'm the Executive Director of Montgomery Area Chamber of Commerce, and we bring the Wine Fest to life every year with your help. And you know, 2020 has brought us a whole lot of challenges, and we've had to rethink it in new ways. And this year, we've decentralized our event, going to the 8 locations around the Lake Conroe area. And I'm here today with Officer Lozano from Montgomery PD, and we were talking about some of the challenges that come with this new version of our festival and event. And Officer Lozano, you know, we were talking about that situational awareness, and maybe you can talk to our volunteers a little bit about how they can pay attention to their surroundings.
Absolutely. Like you were saying, one of the things that has changed in the format this year is we've kind of gone from having a centralized location to more of what like a zone defense, where everybody is in different locations. With that does bring its own set of challenges. So when you are in a smaller location, spread out farther away from everybody else, things like situational awareness are much more important.
Right.
So being aware of your surroundings, knowing what's going on in your immediate area. I always recommend knowing what's going on in your area at least 25 to 30 yards from your current location.
Okay.
So wherever you are, about 25 yards away, make sure you know what's going on in that circle.
So you can't have your head buried in your phone, right?
Exactly. Things that will interfere with your direct vision or your peripheral vision are not advised. Okay. So if I'm got my face doing this and I'm scrolling, yeah, I can't see anything more than about 6 feet away from me. Right. So I need to be able to process the information, because I can't deal with danger if I don't know what's there.
Correct. Yeah. Wow. Well, a lot of our volunteer check-in stations are going to be situated closer to the parking lot rather than in the beer or wine area. So talk a little bit about the things to watch for in that parking area and in that 25-yard radius.
Sure. So parking lots kind of bring their own particular, types of events and scenarios that you'll have to deal with. So for example, one of the most likely scenarios, you have to learn how to look for potential danger in that area. So you're talking about things like speeding vehicles, unaware drivers. You're going to have the drivers that are driving while they're looking at their phone. They're going through the parking lot. They're trying to make sure they're at the right address. They're looking for parking spots. They may or may not see you. So if they don't see you and you don't see them, you're going to be on the losing end of that. Right. So I always like to say tie goes to the big one, whoever that is. Right. So make sure that you are paying attention to those drivers. Sometimes it's a speeding vehicle. Sometimes it may be a distracted driver. It may also be something, we're in and around Montgomery. It may be an animal. There could be a stray animal, a stray dog of some sort. It just depends. So danger can come in many different forms. It's not always a bad guy. But we have to be able to navigate all of it. Now, sometimes it may be somebody that law enforcement needs to know about. Yeah. So there could be some of the signs to look for, things like someone loitering for an extended period of time. If they're just sitting in the parking lot or standing around, they're not moving toward a vehicle, they're not moving toward the location, that should be on your radar. You should kind of say, okay, what are they doing over there? Why are they spending that much time? Another thing is people that sit in their vehicles for an extended period of time. And in this day and age, especially with COVID going on, someone sitting in the car with a mask and glasses on, that's a clue. That's what that might be somebody that we need to talk to, because while the masks have become normal for a lot of people, a lot of bad guys have taken advantage of that situation to conceal identities.
Something to hide behind.
Exactly. So we try to keep an eye on that, make sure that those types of situations we address. If you see something like that, definitely call law enforcement. We're more than happy to come out and take a look. I don't recommend a confrontation on your own. Now, sometimes that's not always up to you. Sometimes the bad guy can, or the offender, the suspicious person, if you will, may force the confrontation. So social distancing has given us the perfect out for that.
Right.
So one of the things that we recommend is keep an intermediate barrier between you and other people. Now, we've talked about social distancing, and we've talked about, I think everyone is aware of the 6-foot rule at this point in our society. So what I like to add into that is keep an intermediate barrier between you and other people. So it may be the table you're working with, it may be a chair, it may be landscaping of some sort, whatever you have available there, but keep that distance there. If you're involved in any sort of a violent encounter or something where you might potentially become a victim, two things that are your best friend are time and distance. And creating those barriers maximizes both.
Right. So just understanding what a normal festival goer might look like, when you see something that's very out of the norm, most of our people are going to be driving in groups or in pairs. They probably won't travel alone. They're going to be having a great time. They're going around and doing all these things. So when you see something that's way out of the ordinary, would that call your attention?
Absolutely. Pay attention to things that are not part of the norm. I like to use the old Sesame Street. One of these things does not belong.
Right.
You know,
There
which
you go.
one? Which one is it that stands out?
Right.
It could be somebody that's on their own. It could be of any number of things. But one of the things we look for in particular, if they are not dressed appropriately for the weather.
Right.
If there is inclement weather and somebody's just standing out in the rain and they're not, you know, or if it is 90 degrees outside and they've got a long coat on with a big backpack. These are things that might step out, and you're like, well, let me pay a little more attention to that.
Right. So we have put out some information to all of our law enforcement agencies around the county, and if you happen to have a location in Grimes or Walker County, we've notified folks so that our law enforcement agencies, who are our partners, they're here to help us, make sure that everyone stays safe and has a great time, are going to be notified so they know that our event is going on, and they're interested in being there as a resource and a help.
Absolutely.
Right. So I appreciate your time today. Thanks for talking to our volunteers, and we look forward to a great festival.
It's going to be great. Thank you.
Thank you.